What is up, everyone? We are back once again with another horror film review. AJ and myself, Michael. Make sure you hit that subscribe and like button and comment down below. And if you haven't seen this, spoilers, go watch it and then come back. But I'd be surprised if no one's seen this because I feel like anyone who likes horror has seen this movie. We're reviewing the first Saw. Now, this movie is from 2004. It is iconic, and I don't know. I feel like it was revolutionary for its time. If I
Yeah, you
remember right.
basically just have to give it a good rating just based on the movies like that it spawned,
Right. It's
the
crazy.
culture for itself.
So it starts off with a man asleep underwater in a bathtub. That part made me immediately call bullshit because he would have drowned. There's no like, I didn't see any way he could have been under that water asleep where he could have been still breathing. But that's the only downhill part. We go uphill from here, trust me. So he wakes up and freaks out, and he jumps up and he jerks awake and pulls a plug that drains the tub. But there's some kind of little flashlighty thing floating in there, and as soon as he does that, it goes straight down the drain. So I was like, probably important, but oh well, what are you gonna do? So
I don't even know if he notices it go down or
I
not.
don't think he does either. So his ankle is chained up. He gets out and he's like, "Oh shit, I'm probably dead." He's in this dark room. It's pretty funny. And there's a voice that's like, "You're not dead." And it's another guy that's chained up. And I was like, in my notes, I don't know why, but I don't trust this guy. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie, but I just don't trust this guy, this other person who just came in.
I don't trust anybody in these movies.
Well, that's fair. So the lights turn on, and we open up with a dead person with a gun and a tape recorder in the middle of the room. And I unfortunately instantly remembered the ending of the movie and the twist at the end. But we'll get to that in about 45 minutes. So, many minutes of introduction between these two and explaining, I don't know what's going on. Do you? No, I don't know what's going on. What about you? I don't know. Who are you? I don't know who. Like, just back and forth, back and forth. Then the dude ask a valid question. He's like, "Are there any scars on me? Is my kidney missing?" He's like, "That's what this
Yeah,
fucking happens." He's like,
this made me laugh.
he's like, "They take your fucking kidneys when they do shit like this." And the guy's like, "No, you'd either be in a lot of pain or dead." And he's like, "How do you know? Are you a surgeon?" He's like, "Yeah." So the blonde dude, I wrote down the names for this movie also. How do you like that? If you watched the last episode from a couple of weeks ago, level 16, I wrote down the names for that. So we might get to a point where I stop saying that one dude and the other dude and this dude with the hat. So there's the blonde dude is a surgeon. His name is Gordon, and
Lawrence Gordon. Yeah.
Lawrence Gordon, and the first dude that we saw is named Adam. So they're looking around the room. They're like, "This is a rusted piece of shit. Everything's disgusting in here." But there's a brand new clock on the wall, and
By the way, Adam is actually the writer of Saw.
yes, he is. I guess I should have asked you if you had any interesting facts. I forgot to do that. So
Well, the guy who plays Adam, not the character. He should have known what
that
was
would be
happening.
very fucking breaking of the fourth wall. But all in my notes I put, all I remember about this movie is there's two big twists and that the music is phenomenal. One of the things I love about the Saw movies are it's the fucking music, especially the music at the end, that dun 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 dun. So that didn't sound like it at all. But so Adam sees he has a cassette tape in his pocket, and Lawrence has one too. They find a key, and they try and open their shackles, and it doesn't work. He throws him the key to try it on his. It doesn't work on his. So they get a tape recorder and play the tapes. And the first one is for Adam, and it says, "You spent your life watching people, and you're gonna watch yourself die, and you're pathetic, and all this other stuff." So then Lawrence tells him to throw him the tape recorder, and Adam's like, "I'm not gonna throw it. I don't wait. Did I do that backwards?" Adam was
No.
the first one to. Okay, right. So let's see here. So Lawrence is like, "Throw me it," and Adam's like, "I don't want to break it. I'm not gonna throw it," which is a fair point.
But it don't make any sense because he ends up throwing it to him anyway.
True.
Like 5 minutes later.
But so there's a rusty toilet with shitty water in it, and they reach in, and it's one of those nasty reach-in scenes where they find a bag with two bone saws in it. Immediately try to cut through the chains with the bone saw and the shackles, And they're like, this isn't working. This wasn't meant to cut the chains. Yeah, no shit. The bone saw is not going to cut the heavy fucking metal chains or steel or whatever. So,
Oh, we forgot to say what the tapes said.
I said it for the first one, but I forgot what Gordon said. That's
So
right.
Lawrence basically says this is his wake-up call every day. He goes to work and tells people they're dying. And now it's his turn to be the cause of killing. Says his goal in the game is to kill Adam, and he has until 6 o'clock. And that the man on the floor has so much poison in his blood that he basically shot himself. And to look for X because X marks the spot. And also, if he doesn't kill Adam by 6, his wife and daughter will die, and he will be left in the room to die. And then at the very end, there's a whisper that says, "Follow your heart." And that's where they see the heart on the toilet and find the bag.
That's right. I should have wrote all that down. I don't know why I didn't. But, so, Lawrence seems to know who this is, apparently, and he's like, it's someone who hasn't been locked away yet, and who I was, like, a suspect of what he's done. So we have a flashback scene, and it's this man in a barbed wire fucking mess, like this huge trap. He's all cut up and stuff, and, he was talking, Jigsaw, well, I don't want to spoil his name, but it's getting ready to get spoiled anyway, or talked about. So, Jigsaw talks about this guy, and it's on the tape recorder this guy's listening to it, or is Jigsaw, like, right there talking to him in the room?
They're listening to the tape recorder.
Right, okay. So he's in the barbed wire, and Jigsaw's like, "You're a healthy man, but you cut yourself. Did you do it for attention? If so, cut yourself again and get out of here, or stay in this room and get locked in forever." So the dude gets all cut up to the point where his stomach acid leaked on the floor, and then there's a jigsaw piece cut out of him. So the jigsaw killer was given his name by the detectives who came there. He basically goes after people doing bad things, more or less. So, turns out they find out Jigsaw's been watching it all happen.
Yeah, they basically say Jigsaw never kills anyone. He just finds a way for the victims to kill themselves.
Exactly. So then we show Lawrence in his doctoring world, and there's this patient laying on the bed, and he's talking about him who's got cancer. And this guy walks in, and he's like, "Yeah, this is an interesting patient. He's a really interesting man," or something like that. So that comes in later, that scene. Or, it gets referenced later. But, so they find a pin light at the scene of the crime, and the cops come to talk to Lawrence, and it turns out it was his pin light. And they're like, "Why was your pin light there?" Yada, yada, yada. So this was 5 months ago. And, then the cops were talking to this woman. Wait.
Amanda.
I put it was 5 months ago. Then I talk about them talking to her. Wasn't she getting talked to when Lawrence was getting accused, or what was the timeline on that?
It's after. Well, they were like, "Where were you at the time?" And he said, "I was seeing someone, not a patient." And his alibi checked out, and they brought him in to listen to the testimony of this girl, Amanda.
That's right. So Amanda was in a fucking bear trap head rig from Jigsaw that basically reverse opens and splits your wig, basically. It's messed up. But it showed her situation. She was in there, and this white puppet with red circles on its cheeks comes in, and it's like the Jigsaw puppet. And says this key is in the dead guy's stomach, and as soon as she stood up, it ripped out the pin and the timer and started the timer. So she goes crazy for a while, freaking out. Then she goes and is going to get the guy's stomach open to get the key, but finds out he's still alive. How about that? So she gives in and stabs the shit out of him and gets the key just in time. And I'm talking like to the second she gets that off, right before it rips her face off. So she gets it off, and as it's falling to the ground, it snaps. And Puppet comes in on his little fucking tricycle and says, "Congratulations, most people are ungrateful to be alive. You're not you anymore."
He's on his way to fuck your bitch.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. So, then it's going back to the cops talking to her about that. And he was like, "You're a drug addict, right? That's why he picked you, huh?" And it's like, "Oh, that's a nice question." So,
but she says, yeah, and that he actually helped her.
Yes.
She was no longer a drug addict.
So we go back to the two Hardy Boys, and he grabs glass and looks and finds out that it's two-way mirror glass, and finds out there's a camera watching them. And so they start arguing, and Lawrence is sad about the last thing he told his daughter, apparently. Then we go to his house, and there's this ugly-ass clock on the wall that looks awful. And it's this long scene with the daughter, basically. Blah, blah, blah. Daughter thinks there's something in her room. Wakes up the mom. She tries to get the dad, which is Lawrence. And he's like, it's the cliche, I don't have time for family. I'm busy with work right now scene. But then he immediately gets up after that. He's like, okay, done. So he's like, see, there's nothing in your room. Blah, 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 blah. And so then we skip back. And it's him talking about his family, and he's like, here, do you want to see pictures of my family, my wife and kids? So he throws the pictures to Adam, and I just said it'd be so fucking funny. Just imagine if Adam's like, oh, that's your wife, huh? And just starts beating it right in front of him to the picture of his wife.
Then Lawrence starts beating it, watching him beating it.
But, let's see here. So, he says there's a picture of the wife and kid in there, but it's not. It's a picture of the wife and kid all tied up. And
which would be even more fucked up if you started.
Right, I was like, another joke is he's like, oh yeah, that's the picture, that's the one, I love that one. But then it goes back and it shows a wife and husband argument scene between them, and then the daughter's closet opens up in her room, and something says, "Good night, little girl," and I was like, this is why we need guns. You're never gonna ban all the guns in the world with your gun control, but what are you gonna do when someone breaks into your house to hate fuck you in your asshole, and he's 6'9", 300 pounds, and you're 5 foot even and 90 pounds? Good luck without a gun. That's it. That's it. So they
unless you're fucking John Wick.
Right. So I just lost my place, my notes. Okay, here we go. So this guy comes out of the closet and takes the daughter. Mom tries to stop it, and he puts a stethoscope on the daughter and listens to her heart and stuff. And then it shows the cop from the beginning spying on the place and seeing the guy looking through the window.
He's like, what are you doing in there?
And then he's watching the tape over and over and over again, trying to find who the jigsaw killer could be. And he hears something in the background. It's a fire alarm going off. So he's like, find every fire emergency that's happened within a certain block radius, yada yada, within the past 2 months, or however much. So then, oh no, wait, this goes back in time. Right, this is showing a flashback. Right, because it's the black detective and his partner, just the two of them. They go to this house by themselves when they think they figured out, or they go to this building when they think they figured out where the jigsaw killer is. And I was like, yeah, just the two of them. That's smart. Not. So they find the jigsaw puppet thing covered up, and they find someone tied up, and they recover it up because they hear the elevator coming up. And it's a man in this awesome cloak robe thing coming up. And they're like, freeze. He turns the drill on this guy. He's got 2 drill bits to the side of his head. And like, turn this damn thing off. How do we turn it off? He says there's keys, and it's like a huge key ring, and the guy's trying to get it off. So basically, I said that he looks like he's in Assassin's Creed with that fucking cloak. And he really did, because he pulls out this wrist knife that's just like Assassin's Creed and slices the throat of the black cop, which I can't remember his name, or the other cop's name for that matter. But, so then the guy his partner is walking looking for the guy, and he sees a bunch of webs, and it distracts him, and he's trying to like look at him and clear him and stuff. He doesn't notice a wire trip on the ground, and he sets it off, and a trap shotgun blows his head off, turns him into a canoe. It's super gory, but
yeah, it was overkill. There were 4 shotguns up there.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything you want to add before I get to the part where they find the X on the wall?
Nope.
Okay, so they turn the light off and see an X on the wall, and they're like, oh, it must have glowed, let's glow in the dark, the light being on charged it up, yada yada. So they find a box that has a cell phone in it, a cigarette, and a lighter. And the guy's like, give me that cigarette. And he's like, put something in your mouth from this nasty room and trust what they have. And he's like, yes, I don't care. Give me that cancer. So, let's see here. I just lost my notes again. Oh, yeah. So, he also sees a note in there that says, you don't need a gun to kill Adam, and blah, 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 this and that, and this and that.
Which calls back to his tape where he said the guy's blood. We forgot to mention that this guy's blood is all over the floor.
Oh, you told him. Yeah, you said it was on the floor and the guy's blood's poisonous, supposedly. Right. So, that's what that's kind of referencing. Let's see here. So, then Lawrence he tries to call 911 on the phone and it doesn't work. So then he remembers where he was last night. He tried to call 911. It didn't go right again. And someone got out of the back of his car and it was a fucker in a creepy pig outfit. Knocked him out, took him, and that's basically how he got kidnapped. He remembered it. But then he starts distrusting Adam. He's like, how'd you know how to turn the lights off and stuff? And he's like, oh, just common sense, bro. So he's like, okay, well, here, if you don't, you distrust me so much. He shows him the picture, and he said, I didn't want to show it to you because it's, I didn't want to upset you or whatever he said. And it was his wife and daughter tied up. And so then he dips the cigarette in the blood on the in the floor in the room, and he turns the lights off. And it goes to the guy watching the cameras, and they can't see or hear anything. And he whispers to Adam, just play along. So,
and we can say because you recognize the guy as the
that's right.
the
It
hospital
shows his
orderly.
face, right.
Is that
the guy? I couldn't remember his name, so I put Zip Zap Zoobity Bap, or whatever the fuck his name was.
And
but yeah,
if you haven't seen this movie, if you've seen Lost, it's the guy who plays Ben.
So that's the guy from the beginning that I mentioned that was like, yeah, this is a very interesting patient. So they turn the lights back on, and he's got 2 cigarettes in the box, and he acts like he has the one with blood and throws it to him, but it's just a regular one. And they're acting so shitty at this point because they're trying to act natural and like not give it away, but they're like, do you still want that cigarette? Yes, thank you. And it's
I
like
think
horrible.
they were acting shitty on purpose.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not the characters themselves, but the actors playing the characters.
Right. No, I think they definitely were. Like, yeah, they were acting shitty because they were nervous and trying to act in the movie, act within the act. But
they were actors pretending to be actors.
Exactly. They were just nervous and fucking fumbling the ball. So he acts like he dies, and it seems like a good plan until they fucking zap him back, and he fucking jumps up, and they see that he was faking. And then Lawrence doesn't trust this. He thinks he just did it to not go along with the plan. So then we see what happened to Adam. He's in a red room developing pictures. He wakes up with lights and music off. And this is a really good scene. I like this a lot. He was walking through his dark house with only his camera flash as light. And he would take the flash to see what was in front of him. And then it would have that old school camera sound like that recharge. And that's all you would hear is him walking and see a second of light, recharge, second of light, recharge. And the only sound was that and the air, blowing around. So he opens a closet, I think it was. No, that's right. Before that, he sees the jigsaw puppet. And then he opens a door that has a horrible squeak. And the camera flash reveals that fucking pig thing. And it jumps out at him. That was such a good scene with the suspension it built and how well it did it. That scene alone was a 10 out of 10 for me. But phone rings and it's his daughter, and it's like, Daddy, help, where are you? Blah, 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 blah. Then the wife's on the phone and says, don't believe Adam, he's lying to you. Let's see here. He has been taking your pic and spying on you and stuff. Wait, my notes here are a little scrambled. But basically, yeah, we find out that Adam takes pictures to get dirt on rich guys and basically try and catch them in the act of stuff. And Lawrence was cheating, and
I believe that's what he said. He gets paid to catch rich husbands cheating on their wives in scummy hotels.
And he was getting paid $200 a night to do that. But so he gives a description of who paid him for the pictures. It was the black detective who survived that throat cut somehow, who's still hunting this case. And yeah, I don't think we mentioned it, but he's off the force. He went crazy after his partner got his head blown off and how he almost got killed. So he's looking into this whole mystery still on his own with no legal, allowance to. But
He's Scooby-Dooing it.
exactly. So
Or Scooby-Dooing it.
they see in the pictures that supposedly Adam took, but there was a picture of what's his name? Zip Zap Zoobity Bap. Zap, right. In the
Zap.
whatever it is. He was looking out the window, and so he's like, "Oh wait, I know this fucking guy," and it turns out he knew he was the orderly. He's like, "I'll kill him." So then it goes back to the wife and the daughter, and the wife gets untied, and they run out of time. So he goes in to shoot her and the kid.
Shoot her.
And she grabs the gun from him and knocks him down. And she wasn't shooting him. And all I could put in my notes is, fucking shoot him, stupid. And then she got way too close with the gun. He looked over at something to make her look over, and then looks back at her.
Her daughter, yeah.
Right. And then he grabs the gun from her while she's distracted. And I was like, you get what you deserve now, you stupid bitch, for not shooting him. But, so shooting starts, and detective hears it and starts running over because he's spying on this place from, like, across the street. And I love it so much. He gets in there and starts shooting at the guy back and forth. And when he runs, the fucking detective runs out of ammo, he just takes his magazine out and goes, "What the fuck?" And that was so damn funny.
Like he didn't know guns run out of
right.
Run out
This
of
is
ammo.
fucking angered confusion. But Gordon gets shocked to shit, and there's this funny as fuck, ultra fast forwarded like cut back and forth between the detective and Zap driving scene. It was really cheesily shot, like Zap detective, Zap detective, Zap detective, fast car. Like, it's cheesy as shit, and it's funny looking. But so the phone starts ringing again. Lawrence can't reach it, and he starts going crazy and crying about it. And before we get to what he does with the bone saw, do you want to add anything that I might have left out? Okay, I don't want to.
I stopped taking notes at this point because I was enjoying the movie too much.
Well, that's fair. So he cuts his foot off with the bone saw, which is what they were intended for in the first place. And then it shows Zap and the detective running in to try and get there. And then they get in a fight for the gun. And the detective's almost going to make Zap shoot himself, but then he gets shot right in the chest. And at this point, I'm like, fuck you to the movie. But, so Lawrence he escaped the chains. He gets the gun from the dead body in the middle of the room and loads a bullet into it. And he shoots Adam, saying, "I gotta kill you, I gotta save my family." So Zip Zap Zoobie Bap comes in at the end, and Lawrence crawls towards him, saying, I'll kill you. And Zap runs over and sees that Adam's shot, and he's like, well, it's still too late, there's rules, sorry. So then Adam's still alive, surprise, he jumps up and grabs him, kills him, he picks up the back of, what was it, like it was a
The
piece
back
of the
tank.
wall, or back of the tank of the toilet, right?
The lid.
Beats him to death, and Lawrence says he purposely shot him in the shoulder with a non-lethal shot, and he'll be fine, he's going to get help. And then he crawls away like a Call of Duty zombie in the Nazi zombie games.
He's already lost so much. He's so pale and he can barely talk.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way.
So, boom. We have reached the finale pretty quick, actually. So Adam finds the tape recorder of Zap and plays it. And Zap was told to do this stuff because of a slow-acting poison in his body, and the only way to get saved was to, kill the family or whatever, or play along with it. So then it starts playing the most amazing theme ever. Seriously, look up like the Saw theme. I think that's what it's called. Just piano playing. Dun 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 dun. But boom, then we have one of the best twists in movie history ever, in my opinion, especially a horror movie. That it's so simple, but it's so effective. The dude that was in the middle of the room this whole time, he wasn't actually dead. He just stands up, and it was all fake blood the whole time.
It was Jigsaw.
And it was fucking Jigsaw. And then we start seeing flashbacks. Jigsaw was John, the person laying in the hospital bed, the person that was up there running with his Assassin's Creed knife and stuff. He was the one laying in the floor this whole time, in there with them. And he gets up and he's like, the key to your shackles is in the tub. which is the thing that went down the drain at the beginning of the movie. Holy shit. What unfortunate luck for you, Adam. But so Adam picks the gun up that's empty and tries to shoot it at John. He doesn't like this, so John just zaps the shit out of him. And then he walks out and turns the lights off with the music just growing in intensity. It's so perfect for this scene. And he walks out and closes or he turns the light off, and then he closes the door and says game over and slams that bitch shut. So Adam sits in there to rot and die slowly in the dark all by himself chained up. What a twist. What an ending. Holy
shit. It's not
shit.
our last time seeing that room either.
No, it's not. Wait, which movie did we see it in again?
I don't remember.
I was going to say, I feel like it's one of those ones where I saw a little bit of it on TV and never really got to see it. The only Saws I've ever seen are 1 and 2. The rest I've seen bits and pieces of, and then Saw 3D, whatever. I don't remember any of that. But
I've seen 1 through 5, I believe.
So I'm ready to give my rating on this if you are, because I can't stress enough how amazing. If you haven't seen the movie and have no interest in seeing the movie, at least look up the final scene of it with the music and everything. It goes so well. But
though it won't hit you as well if you didn't watch the whole movie.
This is true.
Yeah, this was revolutionary for its time. It set a path ahead for a lot of movies. And just for that, I do love this movie. It's not my favorite in the series, but just for it being the first Saw, I gave it a 9 out of 10.
We were close on that because I gave this masterpiece an 8.5 out of 10 or 4 out of 5 stars. So, phenomenal. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. One of my favorite horror movies, and I forgot how much I liked it until I rewatched it. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. It's hot out here in this cabin we're recording in, and I got the munchies, and I think we need to go play some video games. Unless you're getting tired or something.
Nope.
But the next episode we're going to be doing, I'm excited for this. So my next pick is on Netflix again.
Naturally.
It's called No Escape Room. It's horror, it's suspense, and it's about an escape room.
I'll be the judge of that.
You will judge it, and you will like it. But aside from that, thank you all for watching. We appreciate you very much and listening. We are working on getting on Spotify, looking into that, and all we have to do for that, so you can check us out on there, hopefully within a couple of months. But other than that, make sure to like and subscribe here on YouTube, and we appreciate it very much, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye!